All right. So, when I was playing through Zodiac Age, I noticed that some of my menuing was jumping around when I was using the direction pad here. Um, so, I didn't notice it as much in Super Mario All Stars because instead of the pad of direction, it generally used the stick of anal OG. So, I wasn't seeing too much, but if you go into System Settings, down here to Controllers and Sensors, uh, Test Input Devices, and you can test the controller buttons. You can see that I do this back and forth here. So you can see I was only going left and right, and then right here it picked up an up, and then if I'm going, oh, that was my mistake, up and down, it's picking up some lefts and rights there. So that little tool lets you see what's going on with you pushing the buttons. Hello, Lullaby. How are you? So it's a nice tool that they have here on the Switch that lets you see. It's not too bad if you're very deliberate, but because this thing lets you push all the buttons at once, you push the whole D-pad down and pretty much can pick up all the buttons at once. So apparently that design is because the Joy-Con lets you push all the buttons down separately, independently, but that doesn't work so good for me when I want to get good, deliberate D-pad selections here. So let's see what we can do about that. Let me turn off this. And then we're going to go over here. And we'll get to work on it. Alright, just a minute. Alright, so I've never actually taken this apart before, but I did see a little bit of a video on it. So, we got our two Phillips screws there. Let's see. That one's not quite right. That one's pretty good. Do this other screwdriver. It's got a little bit more of a grip on it. Uh, well, I could try, but they might not turn out so well. Alright, let's see here. This one seems to work pretty well. No, that one going? I don't like the way that one's working out for me. Let's try this one here. It's trying to turn on the system. That one seems to be going without stripping. Let me see. I wonder if I have a. Let's see if the electric one can do as quickly. I don't think that's as fine. That's gonna strip that. Okay, forget the electric one. Want to strip it? Don't want to strip it. It's going pretty good. Okay. This thing keeps trying to turn on, but it's still off. Okay. That part's done. Let's try to get in here. These are coming out much nicer than the ones on the handles. Okay. Hopefully that's all of them. See if we can pop this apart. Yeah, okay. Let's take this battery out. And we got 2 more before we pop it out. Let's see. Am I stripping that one? Or is it coming out? Maybe I need to do this one. That came out. Yeah, so that's a pretty deep and shallow, pretty deep and skinny there. So need one of these to get in there. This will not work. So, okay. I think that's loose. It just, oh, there it came out. All right. And we got 2 more right here on the sides. Now I don't have to worry about pushing buttons and turning it on because the battery's out. Okay, got that one. I feel like I'm about to strip this one. Haven't even started yet. There we go. Right. Anything else? 8 screws. Oh, one more right here in front of me. Over here. Alright, so the black ones were all underneath this little cover here, and then the silver ones were exposed outside of that. Okay, 9 screws. Let's see what we can get into here. forgot to grab my plastic prying tool. Probably should go get that. Instead of using metal and bending up the plastic, I got it with my fingernails. Okay. Should probably be doing this on an anti-static pad. Alright, so let's see if we can get that out of there. Not exactly sure how it's crimped down in there. I have to do something to pull that out carefully. Pull back. Doesn't really matter which side I get it off on. I just got to get it off. Let's see if I pull that up. There we go. That popped right up. This part, not really gonna do much with it. Everything on here seems to be working fine. This is the part that I'm concerned about over here. Need to get to the D-pad still underneath this board. So, let's see. Take off screws here, 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 here. Should hopefully be able to get to it. I'll put these up here. Actually, I don't want to lose the ones that are inside those plastic things, so be careful about that. This one here. Look like they're the same as the other black ones I took out, so hopefully it doesn't matter if I get them mixed up. Let's see. Looks like this is about to come off. Okay, there is a ribbon connecting this to there. I don't know how that ribbon comes out safely. Just pull it up. Yeah, just slides up. That comes out. And we got one more screw here. Okay. Now, we can get to the source of the issue. The rest of this stuff stays in there. So that D-pad, it does have a little notch here that sort of keeps it from all being completely pressed down at the same time. And if you see it from the angle, see it kind of sticks. Oh, I can take this little thing out actually. Let's see. It's got a tiny little notch there that protrudes that kind of balances on, but it still doesn't protrude enough that you don't push down basically all the buttons at the same time. So, look at this. Take this off. And here you have your contact points. So I think these are little pieces of metal that when they touch on here, they short those two sides to close the contact. And so when you're going back and forth with this guy on top, it doesn't, see that little, just kind of sits in that hole, but you can still really push down all of them. It doesn't really do a good job to keep it from determining which direction you're going. So, the solution that's suggested is to desensitize these near the center so that when you're going back and forth, if they incidentally contact around here, that's not registered going up and down here. So basically we're making either a circle tape or just little sections of tape to basically insulate those right at the very ends there. So go ahead and put that on. This is the part that's going to be a little bit tricky. Getting the tape the right size and the right position. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I need to cut these. We don't want these little jagged teeth lines. We just want a little bit of that. And let's see. Oh, that's stuck to the scissors. Alright, that piece is done. Let's try to do over here. See if I have something to peel it off with. Alright, try to stick that right across the lower third right there. Just kind of block off that contact point right there. Try to do that a few more times. I haven't heard anything about Nintendo coming out with a new controller design, but this is a pretty popular issue that people have complained about. Let's see if I get that on there. It's starting to lose its adhesion. Alright. So, just a little bit to really cut off these corners of contact. And hopefully that's enough. So, the only thing left to do is put it back together and see if it resolved the issue. Yeah, I think they're safely in this tray. I think. I should have gotten some rubbing alcohol to take the opportunity to clean these a little bit. But it's alright. They'll be fine. Okay. Now, let's see. How was this? This was like this. And this one was like this. And this goes back in here like this. Thing feels like it's pushing the way it's supposed to. Screw this back down. feel like I'm going a little bit against the grain on that one. Back out, try that again. These different lengths? I think so. Pull that one out again. I like the way that one's sitting in there. Same length. I don't know why that one feels like it's not going in quite the way it's supposed to. That one feels good. Feels snug. Okay. Okay, everything feels like it's in there. I don't know why that one spot feels like it's off. Let me do this one over here. Right there. That one went in smoothly. Not sure why. This one right here doesn't feel like it's going in with the right threading. Let's put the top in first, since that's still exposed. Okay, because it goes on top. As does this one. Okay, gotta take that out. Take that out. Okay. This one goes there. This is where I might need to get some tweezers. Let's screw this in place. Okay, so that's why that wasn't feeling quite right. That one's good. And now that one's good. Okay. Back together. But I gotta hook up those shoulder buttons so they're making contact. So for that, I'm gonna need something to push that in. See if I get a pair of tweezers. Alright, I got two tweezers here. I'm gonna try with these ones that are a little bit more dull. I don't want to risk damaging the contacts there. Let's see if I get this in there. Scissors are done with. Get those out of the way. Okay, I think that's good. And okay. Next part. Just getting this in place here. I know it's hard to see what I'm doing with this ribbon, but lift this up, put the ribbon in place. second. Just need to see this, sit it in there. Difficult to balance this thing, got nothing to balance it on. Okay, try that with it all the way up. There we go. Seems like it's sitting quite straight. Make sure that that's okay. That's back together. Okay, it's mostly back together. Let me just put one screw in there to retain it. Right here. And let's see. Is the rest of it kind of held together already? Yeah, it's kind of clipped in there. Alright. Let's put the battery in and test it before we close it all the way up. Just hold that with a piece of tape. I'll just try to keep it in there with my fingers. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oh man, this battery wants to fall out. I'm still picking up a little bit, but it's way less. Picked up one or two. Still picking up a few. Let's try left and right. I'm not happy about that. I think I'll take it open. I'll open it back up, put a little bit more on there. Yeah, let's open it back up. Okay. Let's go back. Up again. Pop this little tab up. Ribbon cable pops right out. That goes over there. 4 screws. One. 2 there. Tweezers. Just do this part with my fingers. Come on. Don't like how it's resisting me now. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's try to adjust that tape a little bit. Oh no! That's alright. I got all the buttons here. And luckily they're keyed. Stay. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Just these pieces of tape. Wonder if, let's see, maybe just lay down another layer instead of peeling this old one off. Not sure. I want the button presses to only register when they're really deliberate. Let's see, what do we want to do here? Peel this old stuff off or put new stuff? New stuff on or just put stuff on top of it? Not sure. Peel the old stuff off. Could use thicker tape. Do have some electrical tape. Might do a better job. Alright, starting over from scratch. Electrical tape might be too thick. What's the play here? That's too wide to get a perfect square on there. I have to get a little bit. A little bit smaller than that. Just try to get a little bit closer to the edges, I guess. Or a little bit closer to the middle. I don't like how much gunk is on that piece of tape. Pick another one. That might be too much. Okay. That's just shy of halfway for that pad. Okay. Same thing on that pad. When I look at it, there should be plenty of contact there. There was some complaints about this method severely reducing sensitivity, so you don't want to overdo it. Let's get 2 more pieces on there. That one might be a little bit too high. But we'll test it. Okay. Alright, well, they're crisscrossing. The only contact points are here at the halfway marks. We've Made a little bit of a raise at the center there, which maybe will have an impact. We'll see. Alright, now, the two that we were using was... This spot was one of them. Over tighten these. Last thing we want to do is strip that plastic. Okay. In place. Buttons are all contacting something. Put this back on. One. And two. Our ribbon cable back in place. Hopefully for the last time. This one's a little tricky. Oh. We'll have to make sure we test these shoulder buttons while we're working on it. This flap goes up. This goes in. Alright. Put one screw to hold the whole thing together while we test. Battery. Battery. Why is it fighting against me? There's like a little angle that it doesn't like about this. Come on. Everything's together, right? There's no extra, something pushing on me. There, okay. Let's give it a shot. Okay, first off, those are working. Good. Triggers are still good, so we haven't damaged that cable. Alright. Ups and down. Oop. Up, down, up. RR. Because I have to hold the battery in place. Very good. Now, is that happening because I'm not able to pick up left and right at all? Let's see. I picked up one up there. Ah, it's a one up. Huh. Never mind. Few ups. But I think overall, that's me fat fingering it. I think it's improved. Maybe call it placebo. But it seems much more deliberate. That was a little bit on me. If I'm doing something, you want to just tap down. Does it not? Oh, okay. analog sticks don't count as buttons, so those don't those don't show up here. I guess, yeah, the roll is important here. It's probably a little bit of a delay. Up, left, down, right, up, left, down, right, up, left, down. I think I missed a few rights. Alright, gonna call it good. Finish putting this thing back together. And, yeah. Battery, and pull that out while I put some of these screws in. But hopefully it's a solid fix. I might have overdone it a little bit with the tape. The testing was a little bit subjective. We get to read the outputs, but you know, I could have been fat fingering some of those presses. But let's get the rest of these screws in place. Let's see. All the ones that are covered under this are the black ones. So we got up there, sides here. One. That one here. And then we got the two up here behind the battery compartment. Above the battery. Okay, so this is the irritating bit. I have to drop this in there or lift this up and guide it in. Do it that way. There we go. Okay. Right. All of those are accounted for. I think. Let's make sure that they're tightened down for the most part. Battery goes in place. Now that's going to be flickering the whole time while I'm doing the rest of this. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4 silver screws. Probably not actually silver, probably aluminum. Or aluminium, as they like to say. Alright, those are a little bit of a different thread, so I'll use this other screwdriver for that. Ah. Okay, that's tight. Alright, almost back together. Just have these. This way? That way. And then this one. That way. Like this. These ones are really resistive So let's see if we get these. Hopefully, I don't have to do this again. Out of focus. Alright. Got the full feel again. I don't really want to calibrate control sticks, I just want to test them. Okay. Analog sticks working alright fine. Let's test some of the buttons. Oh, okay. Home screen does that. Oh no. Home screen takes you right out of there. Update controllers. Will it update the Pro controller? Apparently there was a fairly substantial update for the right Joy-Con that I didn't have on it. So the issue doesn't show up on the Joy-Cons. I noticed that the same when I was playing through Zodiac Age on the Joy-Cons, I didn't notice that issue at all because the buttons are completely separate. These ones are coupled together, and that's the only reason why I really noticed it. I don't know why they don't just completely decouple these. Yeah, I picked up an up there, but I don't know. That might have been me. Yeah. It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. But it's a little bit better. Alright, I'll have to play with it to figure out if I like the the mod or not. I hopefully didn't overdo it with the coverage. I don't feel like I've lost sensitivity. A little bit. A little bit on the left. Yeah, I feel like I've lost a little bit of sensitivity on the left. Yeah, I did double tap that, and the right I think is fine. Up and down is fine. I might have lost a little bit of sensitivity on the left. Maybe I was too aggressive on covering that side up. But that's it. If I'm going to take it apart again, I'll do that off screen here. But I feel like the other ones are a little bit better, but I might have been a little overzealous on the insulation on the left one. I might have covered up too much of that pad. I'll go back in the video and see how much I actually did on the left side, which when it's flipped over, well, no, it's not flipped over. It's like this over here. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know how many people this is going to help. I know that other people have done it. I don't know if they're ever going to release an updated version of this controller where you don't have to do that. But yeah, that's it. I noticed it mostly during the fishing game in Zodiac Age. I was pushing down and it was misregistering the button input. So I can go do fishing again for a test, but no, not do that. I'll test it offline for additional. It's gonna take a little bit of time with it to see if I'm really happy with the update, or if I'm gonna need to roll back some of my changes. So, thanks for watching. Have a good one.